All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about Presto, and Presto is a strategy that we use when we are working on reading passages. So other teachers might have taught you things that you like to do while you're reading your passages, and that's great. I'm going to show you Presto. This is what we're going to practice for a little while, and eventually I really want you to make your own way of reading passages, develop your own strategies that work best for you. So you might take a little bit of what I'm about to teach you and maybe something that you've learned in the past or maybe something you do on your own. As long as you are reading the passages carefully and you are proving your work, showing me that you're going back in the story to find your answers, I'm good with it. But for today, we're going to talk about Presto and we're going to practice that for the next couple weeks until you can kind of prove to me that your strategies and the way you're doing it work best for you. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. So the first step of Presto, we have P, which stands for pre-read. And when we pre-read, what we're going to do is circle and read all of the text features. So text features, remember, are things like the title, subtitles, pictures, diagrams, maps, charts, maybe captions with the picture. Anything like that, I want you to circle it and look over it because that's also going to give you clues as to what the passage is going to be about. Then I want you to pre-read the questions and underline any important words. So you might find words in there that you already know are going to be important in helping you answer. So you might see the author can conclude, or what can you infer, conclude and infer. Those are some keywords for you to remember. It might say, how does the character change? So you might need to think about, ooh, this is like a character development question. Or it might just have a vocabulary word in there or a prefix, something that you need to look for. Sometimes it will even ask you, it might say like the diagram shows. So you know you're going to need to pay extra attention to that diagram and how it relates to the passage. Other things, it might talk about, maybe it wants to know the author's purpose. So you need to kind of get your brain thinking about that as you read. One thing I do want to point out, whenever you are pre-reading the questions, you are only reading the questions. You are not reading any answer choices. I'm going to say it again. You are not reading any answer choices, only the questions. Okay. The next step is R, read carefully. So this is where you are going to simply read the passage and underline anything you think might help you answer one of the questions. So anything that maybe reminds you of a question that you had previously read, underline it so that whenever we're coming back to search for our answers, you might kind of find it faster with your eyes. Next, after you've read the passage, we're going to go back to the questions, and E stands for examine and eliminate. So when you examine and eliminate, we're going to use X's and I's to narrow down our answer choices. And I'm going to demonstrate this for you here in a little bit as I do an example of Presto with an actual passage. But a lot of you might have put in the past like X's and like a question mark for a maybe, or maybe you cross it out or put a question mark. It's the same thing. And I'll show you how I do it so that you can understand why I call it I's. I like to see you guys do this, especially because sometimes if you don't get an answer right, if you had your eyes on the correct answer, I can usually figure out why you picked the wrong answer, and we can talk about that and make some corrections for next time. So this is a big step for me. I need to see your X's and your I's. What are you eliminating, and what are you thinking could possibly be the answer? So we'll look at that again whenever I do my example. S is search for answers. So this is when you go back, just like a detective, and you're going to look in the story to find the answers or the clues that helped you. Sometimes we can't find the answers directly in the text, but there are always some sort of clues that help you make an inference or help you to figure out an answer. But this is important too. You cannot just guess an answer. You have to go back and look for something. Give me some sort of reason that you're picking that answer choice. Next is T, tell me. And this is when, as you are searching for your answers or for your proof, you're going to, you might highlight or underline. So you're going to write the question number by the clues you've highlighted or underlined that prove your answer. So if you highlight something, you need to put Q for question number 4 or question number 12. Whatever you highlighted, I need to know what question it is helping you answer. If you don't like to highlight, that's fine. If you want to underline things instead, that's totally fine with me too. As long as you are going back in the passage and proving your answer in some way and marking the question number that that proof is going with. That is tell me. And then last but not least, this one is super easy, but some of us always forget. O is for bubble your answer. So O is like, it looks like a bubble. That's why it's O. Bubble your answer. Don't forget to circle your answer choice and record it on an answer document if you have one. We don't always have an answer document when we do passages, but just remember to mark it on your answer document very carefully. Make sure that all of the questions are lining up. Just don't forget to tell me which answer you choose. You would be surprised that happens a lot more than you might think. So this is Presto. I will also post a video of me demonstrating this with the passage so that you can see and understand what each step actually looks like before you do it on your own.